Marvel & Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Dormammu Build-A-Figure series, and this is Brother Voodoo. Pretty cool. I never picked up the original one because it was in that San Diego Comic-Con pack. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, so this is pretty cool to have now. Let's open them up. Alright guys, so here is Brother Voodoo out of the box. Now he does come with a couple accessories. So first off, he does have the left arm of Dormammu right here if you want to build him, so that's pretty cool. Also, he does come with his staff, which is pretty nice looking. I like the blue. The blue looks pretty good. It's translucent, and the bottom here it becomes solid. I definitely like how this looks. Like I said before, this was a re-release one from the exclusive that came with that whole book and everything like that. That was pretty okay. I didn't mind that one, but it didn't make me want to get it that badly. This one I like a lot better in my opinion because the big difference is that the color scheme is different. This is a blue staff while the other one was green. Also, in the original release, he did have face paint on his face and also a little gem right here along his cape. I think this looks a little bit better because you get to see his face at least, which is pretty nice and cool looking. And I like the blue. I like the blue staff a little bit better. So there you go. Of course, that is all objective and according to your own opinion and preference, but I like the blue. You might like the green, so we'll differ from there. But taking a look at the staff itself looks pretty cool. If you take a quick look at this part right here, you do see some kind of a skull looking thing. So it looks pretty nice right there. Good detail overall. Take a look at that. And it is a little bit flexible, which is pretty nice. It's not really that hard, so you do have some give right there on posing it or getting it into his hand, which won't be that hard. Now actually putting it in his hand is kind of unique because it's not really meant for it. I mean, it's not holding it perfectly tight. Like you slide it in, the bottom is a little smaller. The more you bring it down, the wider his hand actually gets. But it actually stays in there pretty good because there's a lot of ridges in the staff itself. So you shouldn't have a problem with him holding it and it won't fall out or anything like that at least. So that's pretty nice and good design at least. Or maybe it was by accident, but overall it stays in there. Alright, now taking a quick look at the figure itself. Like I said before, I like the fact that this one does not have the face paint so you can see his full face. It looks pretty good. I like how it looks. The hair is actually pretty good as well. I personally like it. I think it looks pretty nice. He does have a little design on his forehead right there, which looks very similar to the one on his chest, but it could be different, but very similar at least. I know a lot of people also might prefer the emblem and the design of that jewel on his cape right here from the San Diego Comic-Con one. I'll give you that. That looks pretty cool, but not having it isn't the worst thing in the world, so we will move on from that. Going down, he has some skulls on his side over there. Looks pretty cool looking as well. He does have a little of a green belt right there. Going down, more white designs of voodoo magic. Going back, here is his cape. Not bad. A little bit ruined in the bottom there. It is pretty soft. It doesn't feel heavy, so that's pretty nice as well. There is no clip though, or a little peg to go into the back, so it will dangle a little bit, but it's pretty small, so you won't have a problem there at all. Now quickly going to articulation, he does have a ball jointed head that goes all the way up about that much. Not that bad. The hair and the cape might restrict it a little bit. Goes down really good though, so you have no problems there. The shoulder joints are hinge joints that rotate, so they go all the way around, up and down. No problems there. Pretty smooth and pretty good rotation right there. Left and right at the bicep, no problems there. 2 points at the elbow and at the wrist. He does have a swivel and a hinge, so that's pretty nice. And the other hand is a little half fist, while this one is an open hand to convey magic, I presume, like that. Going down to the ab joint, pretty standard. Goes down that far, goes back, not that much though, surprisingly. Going down to the waist now, he does have a waist swivel right there. At the hips, he does have T-joint hips right there, pretty standard. They go about 90 degrees, no problems there. Split wise, not bad, pretty good. Goes back a little bit. Thigh swivel, of course. 2 points at the knee and at the boot. He has a swivel, and at the ankle, a pivot and a hinge. So he is sporting the original, pretty much the original Bucky cap mold that everyone is pretty much accustomed to, so you know what you're getting when it comes to articulation. I do have to admit though, when it comes to articulation though, he does have a lot of stuff around here like this, the cape, so you might have to, move it out of the way sometimes. It might get in the way sometimes, so just be aware of that. Not going to any QC problems. I have to admit, this figure is pretty solid. This is the second figure from this series that I picked up and I just opened, and I have to say, 2 for 2, which is pretty good. I have to admit, it's not that bad at all. I didn't have to fix any joints or any warped joints or any bent joints, so that's pretty nice for me. Pretty nice feeling to have. All of the articulation joints feel pretty good so far. I had no problems with it. Pretty smooth, nothing's stuck, so that's a pretty good thing to have for once. When it comes to paint, you know, the paint looks pretty decent. It's a pretty plain figure because his whole outfit is black. The skin tone looks pretty good in my opinion. The designs of the white paint on his body are pretty much kind of look good. You know, you can't even tell if it's bad or good because the way it's designed. But the biggest detail, I guess, is the head sculpt, right? Let's take a look at that really quickly. And I have to say, it looks pretty clean to me. You know, the eyes look okay right there. The hairline looks pretty good as well. Yeah, so it's a pretty decent figure. You know, it looks a little bit messy, but everything is pretty clean and done pretty well. Even the paint work on his forehead right there. And I also want to point out that when it comes to articulation on this hand right here, he does have a swivel and a hinge joint, but the hinge joint is at the top of the wrist right there. So I guess the staff could go up and down when he's holding it. So I didn't point it out before. Alright, so quick size comparison. Here is some of the figures from this line right here. We have Iron Fist, Doctor Strange, and of course Brother Voodoo. I have to admit, this is a pretty good figure. Man, I opened this one up recently right now and he sucks. Very similar to the original figure that came out. All the joints are horrible in this one. So we're only 2 for 3 when it comes to good QC problems. But it's funny because I think it looks like, do they have the same body mold? It might be. The chest looks a little bit different, but yeah, it's just really disappointing, this one. Anyway, so that's how they stack up right there. For our next size comparison, here he is with some of the all new, all different Avengers I'm trying to build in my collection. So we have Spider-Man right there, we have Iron Man, we do have Captain America, Sam Wilson, and the Vision figure right there. Size-wise, I think he's pretty good. I mean, they could have used a slimmer body, but they didn't. So this is pretty nice as well. Height-wise, I think he's pretty good. I mean, pretty standard. I don't know exactly how tall he's supposed to be. His head sculpt looks a little bit different as well. The hair definitely gives him some height. But no complaints here at all, really. Next up right now, we have Punisher and Deadpool side by side with Voodoo right there, so you can see a nice comparison. And I know you guys like this Punisher. I will get the review up very soon. Wolverine and Namor right there, so you can see how he stacks up with them. And for our last size comparison, here he is next to some DC figures. We have Wonder Woman and of course Shazam right there, Captain Marvel, because he is all about magic. Alright, so overall I think he's a pretty decent figure. Like I said before, he is a reissue, but I think he's a lot better in my opinion because I like the fact he doesn't have the face paint on. I do like the blue as well. You do minus this little gem on his front right here, but overall I think it is pretty good. I'm pretty surprised though he doesn't come with any of these little special things right here as accessories like all the other magicians or the magic people have, like Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch did. So these are pretty cool to have. Now this one right here is from Havoc because I just chose it because it's blue. I think it would have been beneficial to have that. It's pretty simple to put in there as well. But either way, I'm pretty sure you guys have millions of them as well, so you can just add them on to the figure itself. And I like the character. You know, I don't know that much about him. I only really started to know him because I started reading the all new, all different Avengers team, and he is on it. So that's all the information I get from him. Obviously I Wikipedia'd him and stuff like that. But overall, I do like the character. I think it's a great figure to have in your collection if you're trying to keep it updated. And even if you like the character himself, he is a pretty cool figure right there. Alright, so that's about it, guys. I hope you liked the review and it was helpful. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, just pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with wildlandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!